maybe too expensive here at the pharmacy, that's something to look into, is getting them through the VA.
That is absolutely wonderful.
Yes, so those are two little gems. I think people stay away from the VA because they don't want to give up their doctor here. You don't have to give up your doctor here.
Oh, they should see you and call you and find out all this thing. And
they just found out because of Phyllis.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so those are some gems.
And those you ask when somebody comes to you, do you?
Yes, so when people come into my office, we send them a checklist. They bring with them their filing.
You send a checklist of what you want.
We send a checklist of what we want to see at the planning session.
Because that would make sense, all this time wasted if they didn't have everything
the more they
needed.
bring with them, the better tailored advice I can give them.
And when they leave, you have all this that you must muddle through and decide on the best course of action?
Yeah, we spend 2 hours with, everything spread out on the conference room table, and then I ask them lots of questions. I get the family tree, figure out what's your support system. Are you a veteran? What's your health insurance? Do you have long-term care insurance? Your income, your assets? Everything. Do you have a special needs child? Do you have children who don't talk to you? Do you have children who died? Is this a first marriage?
Yes, I have a special needs child. That's very important.
So all these things come into play. So, and then by the end of the 2 hours, we figured out, well, a couple things. I've just taught them a few things during the 2 hours. Like I might say, go to the VA and get your hearing aid. So some things I just teach and share during the 2 hours.
And do you talk about that when you talk at night or when you go to...
yeah, when I give talks too. But by the end of the 2 hours, so I've done some just teaching right in the room, but also I know whatever legal project you need going forward. We need to do a trust, we need to do a special needs trust, we need to do power of attorneys,
a trust is what?
Oh boy, I said the magic word.
Well, trust me, and estate trust and all this jazz, all different, right?
Yes, so what I always say is that trusts come in many different flavors, and they all have different purposes. So a lot of times people will come in and say, my neighbor has a trust and she said I should get a trust too. And I say, well, maybe you should. Right, I say maybe you should and maybe we shouldn't. Let's go through all these papers you brought me and let's spend 2 hours really figuring everything out, and by the end I'll be able to tell you whether you need a trust or whether you don't need a trust. And if you do need a trust, do you need a revocable? Do you need an irrevocable? Do you need an AB trust? Do you need a special needs trust?
Oh my God.
Right. So there's a lot of trust. So when your neighbor's telling you need a trust, you might not.
Your lawyer will decide what...
Right. Yes. Trusts come in many different flavors.
And that's why you're there. You're a lawyer, you're a woman. Oh my, Me Too movement will love you. And you were there before, a long time before.
Yes. But only because of women generations before who fought for me to be able to be here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. My mother would be very proud of you. A lawyer, a woman, she'd be delighted.
Yeah. And we probably
have about 4 minutes, Seth is telling me.
Oh, okay.
So what would I want to fill it, because it's wonderful to have you here and people getting advice that they couldn't get unless they go to your meetings.
Right. Yeah. So you can check the calendar on the website.
Where would you do? Name one.
Where do I do the events?
Talks, events, yes.
That is a fine question. They're all over the place.
Okay.
I have one I'm doing in November at the new Penniman Hill that's being built.
Oh, where is
that? The new
now?
assisted living.
Yeah. Where? In Hingham?
It is technically Hingham, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.